Cardano runs on Ouroboros Prios, a proof-of-stake protocol. Blocks are produced by stake ownership. The more ADA held, the greater the chance to lead. ADA, ADA, the native token of Cardano. Mining is not used. Power comes from participation. Security stays intact. Ouroboros Genesis allows new participants to synchronize from the beginning of the chain, known as the Genesis point. Using what's publicly available, and with no third parties, it's decentralized. Transactions follow the extended UTXO model, unspent transaction output. Each output can carry value and include data tied to contract logic. Therefore, an enabling of smart contracts. Timed live on the blockchain to respond to specific conditions. Smart contracts are written in Plutus text, a simplified version of Haskell. It compiles to Plutus core, a typed language that runs directly on-chain. For financial logic, developers use Marlowe DSL, domain-specific language. Marlowe focuses on agreements like escrows, time locks, and multi-party settlements. Smart contracts are stored at script addresses, logic-controlled locations, without private keys and without wallets. Each contract is a validator script, defining conditions for funds movements. To activate a script, you supply a redeemer, a piece of data that expresses what the user intends to do. One also supplies a datum, a snapshot of the contract's state at the time of interaction. The datum can be inline, stored directly in the transaction, or stored off-chain and referenced by a datum hash. It is a unique digital footprint, a short string of characters that represents a larger piece of data. Hashes allow secure, efficient referencing. Cardano allows the creation of native tokens that do not require separate smart contracts. They follow minting policy scripts, which define how and when they can be created or destroyed. Each policy is identified by a policy ID, a unique hash driven from the script. Running a smart contract consumes execution units, which measure how much memory and computation is required, and execution costs are calculated using a cost model, a set of formulas defined in the protocol, parameters, which are agreed upon across the network. To support reliability, contracts include collateral inputs. These are funds set aside to cover fees in case the script does not validate. Off-chain logic runs through the Plutus application backend, or PAB. This connects smart contracts to wallets and user interfaces. The chain index assists this connection. It watches the blockchain for relevant updates and provides needed data. Blockchain addresses use Bech32 formatting. Bech32 is human readable, includes built-in error detection, and reduces the chance of incorrect input. Every user holds stake credentials, cryptographic identifiers tied to ownership. They connect to stake addresses, which receive rewards and allow delegation. Stake pools register using certificates, signed by KES keys, key evolving signatures. These keys rotate over time. Rotation improves operational security. VRFs, verifiable random functions, select block producers. They generate randomness that can be proven and determine leadership in a fair and audible way. The system began with Genesis keys. These are the root credentials that launched the chain. Each transaction can include transaction metadata. Metadata provides extra information, such as descriptions, identities, or use cases. For example, voting metadata registers participation in Project Catalyst, Cardano's communication funding system. Governance is now Voltaire era enables ADA holders to vote directly or assign their voice to DREPs, delegated representatives. Following the Conway Ledger rules, governance built into the protocol. Every transaction contains a digital signature, proof that transactions were authorized by the correct party. Data is encoded in CBOR, concise binary object representation, which is compact and structured for efficiency. The script integrity hash secures the validator script. It ensures that what was submitted is exactly what runs. To avoid repeating large logic, developers use reference scripts, stored once, and then reused across transactions. Reference inputs allow contracts to read data without consuming it, preserving state while it keeps operations lightweight. New languages have entered the ecosystem, however. It's not just Haskell. Helios offers a JavaScript-like feel. Aiken focuses on fast development, strong typing, and clarity. Both compile to Plutus Core. Both honor the network's rules. They build and send transactions. Developers use the Cardano CLI, the command line interface, connecting through a Cardano node which interacts with the chain, flows the transaction construction pipeline. It includes UTXO selection, balancing values, signing with cryptographic keys, submitting to the network. A UTXO selection algorithm improves privacy, reduces size, and lowers fees. Pending transactions enter the mempool, a temporary space where they wait for inclusion in a new block, spread across the network through block propagation. Propagation speed affects how quickly consensus forms. The Genesis configuration defines network behavior. It sets block timing, protocol versions, fee structures, and script limits. It is the original design of the chain. A full node holds the entire ledger. It verifies every rule from Genesis to now. A light client stores only recent data. It relies on cryptographic proofs to stay in sync. Both serve important roles and contribute to decentralization. They offer necessity and script context matching. The contract compares the incoming data and intent to the expected structure. If all parties align, the contract executes. If not, the transaction is rejected without disruption. This is Cardano, a network defined by mathematics, guided by logic, built with precision, sustained by participation. It fits by design, strengthening, understanding, to remember. Learn the system, how it speaks our language, become fluent in the chain. Clean, compiled, spoken script. Every idea lands, every space gives breath, every definition reinforces the next, recording a purpose worthwhile in effort and layout. Hello.